But
so
Boafon, tell me something. I know that's the official lie, but as you've heard in the studio, there's a sense that this is just an excuse to really use an economic tool and pass it on as a tool to deal with crime, when Nigeria really will benefit economically out of it.
I'm not sure, Evans, if you read the news very well, and I'm sure we're in the news business, and the gentlemen in the studio also read news on a daily basis. The issue of people crossing borders into Nigeria and what have you. So there have been concerns in Nigeria here, and legitimate concerns by chambers of commerce as well, about the action that the government at the center had taken, and that this should be reviewed as soon as possible. And of course, that you don't use one stick to kill the rest of those you're hurting. As I said, legitimately, you have companies quoted on the Nigerian Stock Exchange in food and beverages, in consumer goods, that has hundreds of millions in their annual report, or billions of naira reported because of the trade of selling their goods into Ghana, into Benin, Togo, Senegal, and elsewhere within the sub-region. So companies, both legitimate corporate organizations, those who are informal business, are hurting across borders. And that is a fact here. But what we don't want to do is to escalate the current situation into having a total mess on our hands and mess up West Africa. What I want us to do, and I think as a business journalist I will appeal, is that the East African community, the EAC, has been able to have a very fair and settled environment in which trade between Kenya, Uganda, Tanzania, and other countries are done fairly well without hurting each other. We know the big brother has been said within the East African region, but of course they've been able to manage their differences in a very diplomatic way. So I agree with the other gentleman in the studio who says, look, we need to have this what you call dispute resolution mechanism within the ECOWAS protocol and what have you, so that we can talk to each other. And I think at the very highest level, I'm sure the president of Nigeria and the president of Ghana, the excellencies in Cote d'Ivoire, in Benin Republic and Togo, in Niger, can put phone calls to each other and maybe have a special summit on this particular issue, in which an emergency summit, and they can call that within 24 hours. And they all can meet in any of the countries, because these are neighbors. We've had history that runs into hundreds of years. So it's not something that should be allowed to be tainted by goods that are manufactured in South Pacific Asia, that are manufactured elsewhere in Europe and elsewhere, and Africa is being used as a staging post to hurt ourselves. I think this is the time for Ghana, Nigeria, and everybody to close ranks and see how we can move forward. Nigeria benefits from Ghana, and this is so true. There's no big brother anywhere without anyone benefiting from the other. Nigeria does not have everything. Ghana does not have everything. There's no country that is an island. So my advice to the political leaders and policymakers within the region is to quickly call each other. And I love the move made by the Ghanaian authorities by sending a delegation to Nigeria very quickly. It's not a beggarly visit, as I see it as a journalist. I will say this is mending fences to be sure that everyone comes out well. Now, as outside the ECOWAS protocol, we have a bigger AFCFTA to deal with. Yeah. We have the global marketplace to deal with. So we have a big pie here, which is the AFCFTA and others to bake, and everyone make money, and everyone has a well-being. But again, it would be too bad, Evans and the gentlemen in the studio, if a product that is produced in Southeast Asia that is expired or near expired because it's spent so much months or years on the high seas are dropped in a neighboring country and transported by land into Nigeria, or transported from Nigeria to Ghana to hurt Nigerian people, their health, their security, and vice versa. And this could be any other country. And we need to close ranks here and make sure that we don't allow this to become very messy, because at the end of the day, it's a common man, it's the common businesses that will suffer in West Africa.
Boafon, I'm grateful that you joined us from Nigeria. He is the business editor at Channels TV Nigeria. When we return from this break, I'll hear Carlos Ahinkre's view on a fundamental point. Nigeria is protecting its own. As Donald Trump will say, America first. They are saying Nigeria first. What is Ghana's own policy when it comes to that? Stay with us.
Crazy pa. Me. Whiskey. Wash. All of a sudden, my voice I hear different. And when you saw a call. Barman, bring me the honey whiskey. You know the one? Black Rock whiskey.
Honey whiskey.
Chalet, honey, near their fro. Black Rock whiskey is strong. Now, so taste me is smooth and it goes down easy. Excuse me. Barman, bring my friend one Black Rock whiskey.
Black Rock whiskey, blended with natural honey flavor.
Hey, what's up?
Barman.
Hey, what the hell for Sikanton Sada? Oh.
Black Rock whiskey can be the feeling smoothness, no.
Drink responsibly. Not for sale to persons under 18 years of age and not recommended for pregnant women. This advertisement has been vetted and approved by the FDA.
Stand fast this month as fortune favors the brave. For Jack Sullivan, age is just a number.
I'm Jack, I'm 18, I'm the youngest football boss in the UK for a women's football team.
For Ben, fear is an illusion.
What was that all about?
For Lawrence Page, ordinary is not an option.
It's not just a restaurant.